Mike Bohn joined now by Elijah Smith, one of the newest members of the UFC roster, man. Congratulations. Great win on Contender Series a couple days ago. And I know it's like a big whirlwind the night it all happens, man. But now that you've had a few days, probably get home, digest it. How big of a night was Tuesday for you?
Yeah, man, that was the biggest night of my life, my career. I mean, I wasn't able to really fully soak it in until like later on that night because I got back to my hotel room like late, like around like 1 o'clock or so. And when I laid down, I was like, "Wow, okay, that just happened, and I'm finally here. I finally arrived." So it was a great moment.
Yeah. Did you get to enjoy Vegas a little bit after that celebration?
Nah, I actually, man, my foot was hurting. My foot was
Mhm.
hurting. Like I wanted to, but I was like, no, I'm good. And plus, our flight, they booked our flight like early in the morning, like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, it's already 1 o'clock. I'm ready to go to sleep now. But before the fight, definitely we walked the strip a little bit, like before the day before the weigh-ins. We did some stuff just to get my mind off of the whole fight, and just the whole atmosphere just put me in a different state of mind.
For sure. How's the foot now? Did you get checked out? Anything serious or?
Nah, not yet, but I don't think it's anything serious. I have an appointment next week, but really my foot is just swollen, a little bit bruised, but I've been walking on it these last 2 days. It's just soreness, that's it.
Yeah. Have you watched the fight back?
Oh yeah, I watched it multiple times, and from a fan standpoint, wow, what a fight! But
Yeah.
from a technical aspect, I felt like I looked good the first 2.5 rounds, and then obviously I started to die out, and then after that I was just running on pure heart, heart, and yeah, it just being strong.
Yeah, obviously was a short notice fight for you. I mean, how, like, looking back at the fight, and you said, those first 2.5 rounds are pretty good, but even then, how far do you feel that was from you being like at your best with the full camp and all that stuff?
I feel like I was not even close to 100%. I would say I probably went into that fight probably like 70, 75%. It's one of those things like so I play UFC 4, and I have my own creative player. And in the game, in the career, you have your weeks that you're supposed to go through training camp. So when you get to your fight, you have 100% energy and health is good. Um, what how I correlate with that is that I probably went into that fight, like I said, probably like around 75%. So I didn't get to show the world and Dana White the full Elijah Smith, but I'm just happy I was able to put on a performance that was one to remember.
Yeah, you were not that peak fitness for your training
Yeah,
camp.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. So
You
you know
still
what I'm talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're still playing four? Are you on that five yet or not yet?
No, I'm on the five.
Okay, yeah. Are
Oh
you?
yeah, my bad. I meant to say UFC 5. I'm
No, I just didn't
Yeah.
know. Maybe you just had a favorite with the four. Are you an Xbox guy or PlayStation?
PlayStation all the way, PS5, baby.
Here you go.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big storyline, and it kind of happened short notice because of the fight was short notice. But the stuff with your dad, Gilbert Smith, obviously very cool. The second father son tandem who have been under UFC contract with the Coutures, and I know you kind of got made like aware of the other duo at the press conference. But like, was that something that you were conscious of going into the fight at all?
Nah, I had no clue about that. Like when they brought it up to me in the interview, I was like, "Oh snap!" We we wanted to go into this fight with we want to take two things from this fight, which is one, first things first is get a win. Okay, that's first thing. Two was getting a contract. Now making history as the second father son duo. Now that was just a bonus. That like I had no clue of that. That wasn't even a thought.
Yeah, I
But I
mean,
just yeah.
it's really cool, man. I mean, I consider myself like in the MMA media one of the like stat heads. I always am tracking like these facts and statistics. So to me, I obviously thought that was really cool. But I mean, we're probably going to see more of this in the future, right? Like we're starting to see this
Oh
second generation of fighters, but to be kind of at the forefront of that, that's got to be pretty special to you.
yeah, definitely. I mean, especially what it's been like. I don't know how long it's been, but I know it's been quite a while.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Ryan Couture last fought in the UFC like 2013 or something like that.
yeah, so it's been quite a while since that happened, and yeah, just like what you said, I can only imagine that there's going to be more fighters who had fathers in the UFC coming in, and there's going to be a lot more second generation, third generation fighters. Like the cycle continues.
Yeah. How, I guess, to put in like perspective, do you think that that knowledge she passed to you like on the week of the fight night, like did that benefit you more so than if you didn't have someone in your corner who had that type of experience?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. It was the only difference was that it is a newer day and age, but the
Mhm.
process almost is the same. I mean, for an example, when he fought on the Ultimate Fighter, uh, they had him in the same hotel that we were staying in. So when we got to the hotel, he was like, "Man, like I'm having like flashbacks." He was like, "I remember exactly where I was standing when everything was going down." So I mean, just navigating through this whole process was definitely he was helpful through it all.
Yeah. Is there any, I guess, drawbacks or challenges to, having that relationship and having your father be kind of one of your lead coaches? Or do you guys have like can you distinguish the two like relationships from father, son, and coach and fighter?
Yeah, I mean, man, we bump heads damn near every other day. There be some stuff I'd be like, man, how am I supposed to do that? He's like, well, if you just do this. So we're always going back and forth. Um, but especially through fight camp, I know sometimes I do get a little annoyed just because I'm having to cut weight and everything. So he's been able to really understand and understand me and know that sometimes my emotions just get the best of me. But he probably the only person that could really like bring me back down to earth. Um, but yeah, I mean, having a father who's been there and done that, I mean, we built a relationship that it's like no other. He's been with me since my first amateur fight. So I mean, we know each other like the back of our hands. So it's yeah. I mean, I can't be any more grateful.
Yeah, and I guess just last thing on this, as far as like your kind of career moving forward, do you want this to be like part of your storyline, like people bringing up the father son thing, or are you kind of glad that we got out of the way now with this fight on Contender Series, and now you go into the UFC as like your own man, and there's not kind of this dynamic with all that?
Yeah, I mean, we already kind of yeah we. I am ready to create my own story, and I mean, I think they're always gonna bring that up because my dad, he's gonna be in my corner every fight that I have in the UFC, and I think they're just gonna continuously bring that up. But as I continue on with my career, I think that's slowly gonna die out, and because I will be creating a name for myself, and yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with living in my father's shadows and carrying on that name. But like you said, I do want to start veering off and creating my a name for myself, my own story.
Yeah, and as you start to do that, I mean, I know it's still very fresh. It's been a couple of days, but do you think about the debut, when you want it to be, where you want it to be, potentially against who, any of that stuff?
Uh, Not too much. But I did put out that I would love to fight at Madison Square Garden.
Hmm.
I mean, I know that would be like I know that's a far shot, but I mean, I threw it out there just in case, hey. But I feel like once I fully heal up and get rid of all these nicks and bruises and everything, I'll be back to training here in the next like week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and yeah, then we'll sit down with my management team and with my coaches and everything, and figure out a good game plan and what's the best route.
Yeah, I guess as a whole, it's a very broad question, but like this division that you're coming into is absolutely insane, in my opinion. The best in the sport. The talent is incredible. We just had a
Yeah.
title fight. When you just kind of look and like see, look at someone, the top guys, and just like, do you feel like is it an intimidating climb? Is it exciting to know that you might fight some of these guys one day? What are your kind of thoughts on entering this weight class?
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in any other weight class Just because I mean this is the most exciting weight class in my opinion in the UFC. Um, I've been watching these guys since all the way since really what really made me become a fan of the division was T.J. Dillashaw.
Hmm.
I mean, when he beat Barral, I was like, oh man, and then when he beat Cody Garbrandt twice, I was like, man, this is the division to be in. And you got Dominic Cruz. You know, there's so much history in this division that I want to add on to this history. I want to keep building on because again, I think this is the best division in the UFC. I mean, when I see guys like Marab and Sean O'Malley and Sanhagen and all these guys in the top 10, top five, that's like wow. When because we're gonna run into each other at some point in time. So I want to get out all the, it's gonna be bittersweet fighting them because like I'm a big fan of all of them, but it's like, it's a business.
Yeah. I mean, you look at someone like Sean O'Malley and there's like a Peyton Talbot too, the track record of like, people coming off Contender Series in this division and what they can get in terms of popularity and champion trajectory. It's all proven for you, right? So like you can see a clear roadmap of what you may have to do with the career going forward.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to keep being me, keep being authentic and exciting. And yeah, as I go into my pro debut, I'm gonna show the world what Elijah Smith is when he has a full camp behind him, and it's not short notice, and I can guarantee a finish because that's all I'm. Man, we get we don't get paid by the hour, man. So I'm trying to get in and out as fast as possible. Uh, with my health being great and just exciting the crowd. I want to be able to, like I said, I want to be able to get in there and get out smooth and yeah, just make it look easy.
I guess just last thing before I let you go, Elijah, to see what you did, winning that fight, short notice, undefeated opponent, all the pressure of this Contender Series circumstance, like, does that give you a big confidence booster going into the next fight, knowing what you did, impress Dana White under what were probably unideal circumstances for you?
Yeah, I think yeah, it definitely boosts my confidence. It lets me know because there was times that I thought like, man, am I even good enough to go out there and compete? Like, am I good enough to impress Dana White and secure a contract? So to go out there and do all those things and impress myself at that, it's like, okay, I know I belong. This is where I need to be, and now let's stick around for a long time.
For sure, man. Well, this is obviously in your blood. We know that, man. So, congratulations again. Obviously, I was really impressed, and I'm glad I got to talk to you and get to know you a little more. And I think we'll probably be doing many of these over the coming years as you kind of flourish in the UFC, man.
Man, definitely. I appreciate you for having me.